The report analyzes the supply chain risks caused by the sudden escalation of conflict between Israel and Hamas. It warns of severe disruptions to logistics and production in the Middle East due to halted operations and blockades affecting trade routes, especially those linked to Israel, Jordan, and the Gaza Strip. Summary of key points. Conflict impact. Israel's halted bombardment and Trump's role in facilitating hostage releases are central events that shift attention, but don't prevent immediate economic disruptions. Risk level. High probability, around 70%, of further escalation with significant supply chain exposure across electronics, automotive, and consumer goods industries. Affected regions. The Gaza Strip, Israel, Jordan, and Lebanon face halted shipments and higher insurance and transport costs. Economic and operational impacts. Immediate 0 to 30 days. Multinational firms like Tesla, Samsung, and Intel face delays and warehouse losses in Gaza. Trade flow reduction of 20% through the Suez Canal and Red Sea ports. Cost increase of $8 million per week from logistics rerouting and insurance. Cascading 1 to 6 months. Component shortages cut electronics production by 15%. Automotive costs rise up to 20%. Middle Eastern consumers face 15% price hikes. Long-term, 6+ months. Global firms such as Dell and HP diversify sourcing, reducing exposure by 20%. Shift toward localized and regionalized manufacturing in Europe and Asia. Governments may introduce new trade regulations and oversight mechanisms. Recommended strategic actions. Immediate 0 to 7 days conduct impact audits, reroute shipments via Haifa or Ashdod with projected $1 million monthly saving, and hold weekly stakeholder briefings. Short-term, 1 to 8 weeks broaden supplier networks, boost 10% resilience, optimize logistics, and expect $2 million in 8-week savings with 150% ROI. Long-term, 2+ months form partnerships with resilient logistics firms, invest $1 million in adaptive supply chain tech, reducing risk by 20%, and deploy a geopolitical risk tracking system with 275% ROI. Overall, the analysis positions resilience, supplier diversification, and technological investment as the top strategic defenses against sustained geopolitical instability in the Middle East. The report evaluates the geopolitical and economic effects of proposed Hamas-Israel peace agreement on global logistics networks. It concludes that even if the deal succeeds, its implementation could still produce short-term disruptions across major trade corridors connecting Israel, Jordan, and Egypt. Summary of key insights. Main event. The conditional release of Israeli hostages has created new uncertainties in regional logistics, leading to tightened customs procedures and potential trade slowdowns. Risk assessment. Overall risk is medium-high with a 60% chance the agreement holds, but significant short-term instability is likely due to political volatility and heightened border security. Primary regions affected: Israel, Jordan, and Egypt, with downstream impacts reaching Saudi Arabia and the UAE. Major players affected include shipping companies such as Zim Integrated Shipping Services and Maersk. Impact breakdown. Immediate 0 to 30 days. Port delays at Eilat, Haifa, and Tel Aviv with up to a 10% disruption in cargo volume. Transit delays of about 3 days on Asia-Europe trade routes through the Suez Canal. Increased costs of roughly $5 million for ocean carriers due to congestion, fuel surcharges, and customs fees. Cascading 1 to 6 months. Electronics and automotive sectors most exposed, with up to a 15% production drop and 25% higher import costs in Gulf states. Global manufacturers Ford, Samsung begin sourcing diversification, expanding by an estimated 20%. Long-term, 6+ months. Persistent shift toward Red Sea transport and European supplier diversification. Heightened government enforcement with a forecasted 30% increase in border inspections. Companies invest in long-term resilience, using advanced tracking and security technology. Strategic recommendations. Immediate 0 to 7 days. Zim and Maersk implement tighter port security and expedited customs clearance to cut delays by 25%. Maintain transparency through bi-daily stakeholder updates to sustain customer satisfaction. Diversify supplier networks by 15% to avoid single-source vulnerabilities. Short-term 1 to 8 weeks. Redirect up to 20% of shipments from the Suez Canal to the Red Sea route. Strengthen customs operations with added staff and digital systems. Expected cost savings of $2 million in 2 months. Expand supplier base by 10% to reinforce continuity across industries. Long-term, 2+ months. Invest $10 million in real-time shipment tracking over 6 months to strengthen transparency and efficiency. Form cybersecurity partnerships, e.g. Trend Micro, Symantec, to reduce risk exposure. Estimated 20% ROI in 2 years. Apply a comprehensive, dynamic risk management framework integrating geopolitical forecasting. Expected to yield $5 million ROI within 2 years. Overall, the report underscores that even a successful peace accord introduces transitional volatility, requiring immediate logistic recalibration, diversification efforts, and digital infrastructure investment to maintain global supply chain stability.